that if I should have a son, I would call him Esteban, because it means the crowned one. And if he should ask me of the ways of the soul, I would say, ask your mum, for she is the crowned one. You see, we both have hearts, but hers is a little bigger. She will teach you how to love without condition and help you to see things a little clearer. For your mother is the one who gave birth to you, just as the earth gave birth to us all. But men, they cut their mother up into nations and carve scars into her face with their resource-based wars. Men send their sons to fight for the honor of their country, and as long as they die gloriously, they don't really care if they return at all. Men think their mother tongue is the only one. They think their motherland can be lost and won. So if I were to have a son, I would teach him that a woman's heart is not a holy relic that can be seized like the spoils of a victor, though it may seize with grief if ever you neglect her. A woman's heart is a temple you must approach with reverent respect. It needs no banner to be planted in its soils to claim your name or intent. A woman's heart is the home to which you belong. But first you must become worthy if you wish to enter. The walls of that heart will protect you eternally when you learn to respect her. A woman's heart can be as fragile as a snowflake, and yet as resilient as a fortress wall, as sweet as the breath of a newborn child, and just like the sign on the China store door, if you break it, you will pay for it. In this lifetime, or the next, or the one after that, you'll keep coming back until you learn to love like a woman can. If I were to have a son, I might wish for a daughter. And if I were to have a daughter, I might wish for a son. But a mother loves her children no matter how they come, or who they choose to do so with. So if I were to have a son, I would place him on my shoulder so he could look up to his mum, and I would be there for him like the foundation stone of a home. But I'll tell him, from this foundation, son, I expect you to build a castle of your own. I would shade and protect him from the troubles that may be, but not like an elm, more like a pine tree. Narrow and straight I will stand. You are protected when you are near, but soon you must release your hold of my hand, so you may venture bravely into the depths of the woods of your own free accord. Plant seeds of love along the way as Hansel did, that when you get lost, you can find your way back to the source. I would not plant my own seeds of fear and doubt in his heart, for that garden is his to nurture and look after. And as long as that heart beats to the rhythm of life, and those blessed lungs breathe deep of limitless love, how he chooses to furnish his heart is up to him. I would advise him and guide him, but not like a tyrant, more like the wind. I would whisper to him the things I have learned, and just as swiftly as the breeze, I would leave him alone, to the privacy of his own mind, that he may himself decide if he wishes to fly, cry, burn, or grow. I would ask of him to not turn his back to the sun and cast shadows before him, but no matter what he does on this earth, I will continue to adore him. I would shower him with love such that his heart had space to carry nothing else. I would tell him, this world is not your oyster. We are just borrowing it, so do with it something of worth. Do not grieve when you feel alone, for you are a particle of a God, and alone you can never be. So let your love act as gravity and pull the other particles back together again, because God is actually spelled W-E. Let your love flow to others like the river to the sea, infinite, eternal, and unconditionally. If I were to have a son, I would ask him to love others as though they were his mothers, his sisters, and his brothers, and never ask the name of another before you have said, I love you. Remember, when others say it to you, it doesn't always mean it's true. And though your heart may break along the way, it will heal itself no matter to who you may pray. As long as you pray every now and then, but not when you're grieving. Only pray when you are grateful and gracious for the hardships you are given. Be wary, but do not grow weary, for we are all on different parts of our journey. And though some people may say things you do not necessarily believe, you should let them know that you love them regardless before you leave. Never consider anything as inherently right or wrong. Instead, ask yourself if it is false or true. And by that I mean, is that thought, action, and emotional response a true reflection of you? And if it is not, then don't do it again. Never criticize what others may do, for that is their decision. His judgment is not for you. You have your own path, and no one else can take that. Others have theirs, and you cannot change that. Always remember to stay true to yourself. Share with others when you meet with wealth, and when you have nothing, be content. I would ask him to keep his heart clean, that he may rest peacefully, and to keep his home clean, that he may never step on an ant accidentally. Do not spray poisons into the air that we share to rid it of mosquitoes or flies, for they too have a purpose, no greater or lesser than yours or mine. Instead, find your purpose and fill it to your heart's content. For that is the only way to true fulfillment. But do not overeat, for that is ungracious and unfair. Always be a little hungry just to show that you care for those who have less than you to eat. For one day, my child, you may find yourself at their feet. And when you do, kiss those blessed feet and ask of them for nothing in return. Because if it is of true love that you wish to learn, then it may be asked of you to burn. You see, the moth was not actually in love with the flame. No, it was in truth in love with the bird. It danced the maddening dance of love with the fire, so the smoke of its wings could rise to the next world. So if I were to have a son, I would help him to sharpen his blade, so he may cut himself free. But I would teach him to never point that blade at another, for we are only the masters of our own destiny. But if one should arise who wishes to cause you harm or desires to take your life, then hand it over freely, and be sure to do it with a smile. Because though your soul is eternal and it can never die, your body is yours for only a while. If I were to have a son, I would wish for him to have his mother's eyes, and I would wish that his forefathers may watch over him from the skies. And though I do not yet know who his mother might be, I will continue to burn and purify myself, that his mother may recognize me. And until that day, I will wait patiently.